Hello, Mr. Carlos Gomez. My name is Mark, and I have other channels known as BrightMark777, Rob Freeman, Bible Way, and another one or two that I don't really can mention at this time. But anyway, so yeah, I'm making up in solace here. I want to get you an idea of where I'm sitting at. So appreciate your interest in me, and I hope that we can get along somehow and come to some kind of, fun here, maybe some kind of learning. Who knows? I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings here, but I just really have the notion that a lot of this theism stuff is a bunch of baloney crap. So, with no further ado, let me go ahead and start by addressing your question. May I ask, how do you determine what is what and what is wrong? And what do you base that concept on? Well, I assume you're saying what is right and what is wrong. But yeah, it is written what is what. I love typos. I get them all the time too. And I'd appreciate it if you ever made fun of me about typo, because that would make me feel better about saying, what's a what? I'm more of a fun-loving kind of guy. I don't really like to get harsh with people. I think that the only way to determine right and wrong is to really determine where that action's coming from. If it's coming from someone who's just doing it out of spite, guess what? It's not that wrong, but it's not really right at all. So it's more wrong than right, but it's not really wrong or right. They have their rights to do that, but really, it's not hard to be nice to people. You don't really want to hurt anybody, because that would be wrong. To get hurt, and it's not as simple as do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because the simplest way to look at it is, what would I do in that situation if it were turned around? Would it be okay for me to get hurt? Now, a lot of people will justify, well, you could do this and you could do that to defend yourself, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if people didn't hurt each other, there'd be other things to worry about. So there's always going to be some kind of wrong to justify against the righteous. And the righteous is that's the only way you can figure out right and wrong, is by putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. Don't be selfish and be determined to be treated some kind of fairer king or whatever. You're going to, wait on somebody hand and foot because you want them to wait on you hand and foot? That's selfish. So I'm thinking more of a neutral ground here, where people should just treat each other equally, but without expecting anything that they didn't want to expect for somebody else. Hold yourself to the same standard. It's really simple. And I'm really in the mic right now. I'm sorry about that. So I'm back. I'd also like to address something else you said, Carlos, where you said, I know it's not the Bible, and I think I know it's not God. So you believe in the Big Bang, I think, and that man used to be apes. That's very unfortunate to say that the sentence or question isn't very valid, I guess to say. And that's meaning your understanding seems to be not read in science whatsoever. And, since you don't understand science, your opinions are divided from those who do understand science. Okay? You may have tried to understand science, but since you say you can't, you won't. And you said that to me by asking that certain question. I mean, I won't look down on anyone, no matter how high I overstand their understanding. And I'll always have the patience to help explain to those who are willing to listen with an open mind. If they won't listen with an open mind, then I'll still explain, but albeit doing it here is limited insight. What is doing here saying, those who do not understand or comprehend the image of God are in darkness, ignorance. Now, that's essentially a cop-out for closed-mindedness, a lack of willingness to listen to reason. Okay? So that's what I mean when religion divides intelligence from being shared and replaces it with a mindset of conformity. It's like, if I don't share the same opinion of what God is, I'm therefore ignorant and I'm in the dark. I mean, at least that's, an opinion of whatever religion comes under scrutiny. Let's just ostracize everybody who questions me, right? That's just an observation of a direct exclusion to a very simple fact. Light does not drive away darkness. It creates shadow, and therefore shadow cannot exist without light. And so there's a little paradox there, and it ceases the existence of one is not going to cease the existence of the other. Okay, using ignorance as a metaphor for darkness is incorrect as well. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge. Stupidity, on the other hand, is an acknowledgment to knowledge, but a rejection of the knowledge. Hence, a rejection and an equally opposite ignoring of contrasting facts to dogmatic beliefs. So I'm sorry if you found my words hurtful, mean, or hateful. It was never my intention to harm you. But most people ask for what they don't want and end up getting it instead of asking for what they do want. So it's not your fault or mine. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and now I got in trouble. So, I'll just keep my head down. If the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. I mean, so many people push their way through these awful relationships and then get too scared or too lazy to leave. Man, forget it. I'd rather have my freedom. Trust is everything that makes a strong friendship. And when there's no trust, there's no peace for the friendship to continue. I mean, this should be common sense. But seriously, I love it when people express their opinions, but they're unwilling to defend or even discuss them. Like they're Mr. King shit of the universe or something, and if you don't think exactly as they do, you just brand it as whatever they project their anger and fear upon. So basically all I'm saying is that, man, the religion is so messed up, and it's so crazy, but there's a lot of insight that you can learn if you can be peaceful with another. But a lot of the religious don't want to give up their ideals. They'd rather just hold on to it as if it's the only thing. And I'm saying, hey, how do you know? How do you know it's not? How do you know it is? You don't. You want to take everything on faith? Well, hey, bud. You want to take that one thing on faith? Well, go. But it's on faith, and it's a disturbing faith at that. So I don't know exactly what faith you are, but that's kind of my opinion on the superstitious. Cool. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good day. Bye now.